ain't on my fucking level, to be honest. Some of y'all dancing with the devil, to be honest. Y'all ain't even supposed to be here, but since we all here, let me tell you what's real, to be honest. Y'all ain't even.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Stephen, aka Sneaky Tree Boy, and I'm chilling with my home dog, the Clary OG.
Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm just a little excited because of our guest today.
God.
I was trying to send out a message right now to my homeboy in Michigan, but I was just excited about
Hey,
it. So sorry about that. Here you
don't give up too much. Don't give up too much. Also, in the backstage, the Cowboy Hippie.
What's up with it? Getting fitted and always lit it. Let's get it, boys.
I don't, I don't know if you guys know, but Giants win, baby. We got our first win.
I was actually happy for you, Sneaky. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh my God. I don't mean to be okay. I do mean to be loud. It was a long, it wasn't pretty, but that's what I'm talking about, Paige. It wasn't pretty, but you know what? It don't need to be. A win is a win is a win, and I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take it now. We could we'll talk about that during the show as well. But I got what's up, Benny? I got a special guest here tonight. A Michigan alum. I know Clary's excited for this one, and we're gonna get into it. This dude is a bad man.
He's a real deal, baby.
He is I'm gonna say it right now. If I ever get on his bad side, I'm gonna make sure I apologize. Matter of fact, I'm just gonna apologize ahead of time. Without further ado, let's bring in. Oh, man. New York Giant great running back, number 33 himself, Jarrod Bunch, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen.
Oh,
look at
that. Oh, I see ya. Hey. Thank you for joining, sir. Thank you for joining.
Hey, it's glad to be. I'm glad to be here, man. Especially on a day that the G-men pulled it out. A win is a win is a win. That's right. Even though it's
yes, sir.
That's what you call it, in conference game. Hey, you gotta start somewhere, man.
Hey, and now I'm gonna celebrate this win today, and then tomorrow I'm gonna worry about Philly. But today, this moment, I'm just gonna. I mean, today's a great day for me. I mean, first of all, I woke up, kissed the wife and kids. Giants win, and I got Jarrod Bunch in front of me. Man, This is what I'm talking about.
Yes.
First off, thank you for being on our show. Obviously I'm a big Giants fan. I still remember when we drafted you in the first round in 91, right? It was 91.
Yep.
And oh man, and again, that was the year after the Super Bowl. And I want to say that was when Hanley was the coach because Parcells stepped down, and he retired. Belichick left. When you got to the team, and they basically had a new regime, but I mean, all the greats were still there. LT, Phil Simms, Hostetler. What was the atmosphere like? You coming in as a rookie, everybody just got their Super Bowl rings. What was it like for you to kind of come in, and how was that environment like?
Well, man, you coming in and they just won the Super Bowl, and it's New York, man. And I'm coming from University of Michigan, but before that, this small town called Ashtabula, which nobody's ever even gone anywhere, So I'm going to the big city, the Big Apple now, and I'm man. It was like it was so like I won't say nervous, but I didn't know what to expect because so many people told me this is going to happen. This is going to happen. Watch out for this. Or they're going to. It was everything. So I went in coming from Michigan, thinking that I'm a Michigan man. Michigan man. I played for both, and and it didn't work very well for me to get adjusted. I had to get adjusted. And one of the biggest problems that I gone when I went to New York was that some teams had me as a running back, and some teams had me as a fullback.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And when the Giants took me, it was as a fullback. And if you know the year before that, when Joe Morris, I think the Giants led the league in rushing, was close to it. And Joe Morris had 1,600 yards or a lot of yards. But Maurice Carthon had 100. He was basically a lineman in the backfield.
Right.
Really good blocker, and I just, man, I didn't want to be a blocker in the backfield. And it wasn't that I wasn't appreciative, but I was like all the other teams that I could have gone to and been able to, show some of my skills. But it worked out that, going to the Giants, and then that first year, I go to the first meeting and the preseason training, and Parcells is there, and where everything is going well. And then I get a phone call, man, afterwards. Get a phone call, and they say, well, what are your thoughts of what happened today? And I'm like, what are you talking about? And it's like, well, Parcells resigned, and now Ray Hanley's taking over. And I'm like, I don't know anything about it. Now, one person that I talked to before I was drafted on the Giants was Ray Hanley. He was the only person who I talked to. So when I was drafted by the Giants, it was a big surprise. When I talked to Ray Hanley, I told him, he was a running back coach. And I said, you guys don't use the fullback. Why? I mean, he's like just an offensive lineman. It's like, he said, well, yeah, we use him. He's got to know a lot of different things. And I was like, man, so he didn't like me. Because because I was a player who was a running back that wanted to run the ball. I wasn't a player that was a fullback that he thought fit into just be a lineman. Right. I didn't know they were going to draft me, but that was early on. And then I think he kept that same when I was drafted. Then he was the running back coach, and then he turned into the head coach. First thing on his mind is he's thinking about, I know this guy doesn't, he has a little bit of a. So it wasn't a good situation from the start. And then we had Charlie Weiss, who was the running back coach.
And that's right. I remember that.
Yep.
And Charlie Weiss knew nothing. This is like his first year of actually being a coach. I think he was an assistant the year before. This was his first year being a full-on coach. And they just threw him in because the running back coach is not a head coach. Okay, we need a running back coach. All right, Charlie, go coach the running backs. And Charlie, at that time, he wasn't really – it was O.J. Anderson was the running back coach.
Right. Yeah.
In the meeting, Charlie would ask OJ, well, OJ, how about this? What would you doing this? Or what do you think? And then OJ would tell him, and then he say something to me or something. I'm like, and so he and I didn't hit it off. So here, the first round pick didn't hit it off with the head coach, and he didn't hit it off with the running back coach. And it's not all their fault. It was me. If I just kept my mouth shut, did what it said, but I just didn't. I was one that wasn't taking any crap.
Right.
Right.
Even though the crap didn't mean nothing.
Mhm.
So that's what we got off on the bad start.
Well, I know that there was a big transition because you were there until '94,
Right.
and there had to been because what I can recall that there was a like a somewhat of a quarterback controversy with Hostetler and Phil Simms. But from what I remember of you, you did rush the ball quite a few. I mean, your rookie season, you did get the ball.
So here we go. No, not the rookie season. Not the rookie season. No. Then when they started putting me in, they put me out. I did very well on special teams, and then they start putting me in, but not as a fullback, as an H-back. So they would put me out some and whatever. Now they were trying to give me the ball. They were throwing the ball to me and whatever. So
Right.
I then after a time that playing Dallas threw me a ball. I think it was the first or second reception that I had. Started running, guy stripped the ball and ran for a touchdown. So it was like my first time getting a pass call or first or second reception, and they stripped me and took it for a touchdown. And when I came off the sidelines, he was like, what are you doing? I'm like, man, I'm just like, and he didn't, Ray didn't think that I was affected enough by what had just happened. So,
right, but deep down you were. I mean, you knew you had, yeah.
I was. It was of all the people that were telling me about how hard New York was. So here I thought I made a football mistake, and now they're making it more than a football mistake. So I'm like, man, it's football. They're professional athletes. I'm professional athletes, which is you don't say that. You don't say that.
Right.
you don't say that. And so when I said it, and then he was like, so from that point, he was just like, pretty much through with me because he didn't like me in the first place.
Right.
But then as the season went on, and he was only a lineman in the backfield anyway, so they were just trying to find other things for me to do. And then I started excelling on special team. I blocked a punt. I was tackled, and it's like, man, this big dude can run. And he's like, this big guy can run. So I was doing all kinds of stuff. And then they were like, so when he came and told me it was about 2 or 3 games left. He said, listen, I had a problem. He told me I had a problem with you early on when you fumbled the ball and you didn't take it like I thought you should have. But you have come around this season and I have no complaints about you. I think that you're really everything why we drafted you. And right now, we don't think that using you now and risking you getting hurt is worth it because we only got a couple games left, and so right after the season, they released Maurice. They released him and told him, "Look, you are a guy now.
Mm-hmm.
You are a guy now." And it so happened. Then that next year, the second year, they started giving us the ball, and we Rodney and I led the whole league in rushing.
Yep.
And I was second in the league, not fullbacks, second in the league in yards per carry from the fullback position. And Rodney went to the Pro Bowl. At that time, they didn't have a Pro Bowl position for fullbacks.
Mm-hmm.
They just took 2 running backs. But I think I would have been chosen if they had said fullbacks in there. I think I would have been chosen to go to Pro Bowl then. But from then, and then that next year is when I got hurt in training camp.
Right, yeah. Now, it's funny you say that about the fullbacks because now that position is extinct. Yeah. And I think in my opinion, I think the fullback position is a valuable and a high commodity position. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's because now the NFL is more of a pass first type league. And more of a single back pistol, formation type league. Do you agree?
I think that it's all circular. It'll come around, and we're in the season right now where fullback is not needed as much. Now it's everybody going from pistol and going from a shotgun and handing off and running. It'll come back at some point. Right at the end of end of my career for my injury, they were starting to go with the H-back stuff. A lot of one back,
right? Yep.
And two back, but one of the other backs was just not lined up in the backfield, lined up as wing or whatever, and they were shifting and moving all around. The whole thing was trying to mix up or mess the defense up. How are you going to match up against the who we have in the game?
Right.
If you had a guy like me who could play tight end, could play fullback, could play H-back, or could play tailback, it was good for the offense. Because if they put in an extra extra linebacker or something, you could just put me out wide or put the big guy out wide. Now they got some big guys now, bigger than me, that's faster than me. I mean, they're running 4.3s. So they can play any position. So now it's just, does the team want to play smash mouth, or do they want to line up and, dink and dunk and let the person get the ball and make some yards on his own? I think that the fullback will be coming back at some point. It'll just be they'll use everything. They'll use the pistol. They'll use the two backs. They'll use all of it.
Benny Lopez is one of our viewers right now. He says, "Sir, you're an example that patience is a virtue, and it helps you learn by watching and not giving up." Thank you, Benny. I appreciate that. And he also asked a question too. What is your favorite game and plays that you did?
Favorite game and that I played
we'll say as a Giant right now, and we'll definitely dive into your Michigan days. But as a Giant. So, what was your favorite game and plays that you did, Mr. Bunch? And that's from Benny Lopez.
Oh, that's a hard one. But I know the games that I always look forward to is playing against Washington.
And I was gonna I got a good follow up on that. Go ahead.
We played because Washington was always a tough game, but for some reason we would always run up. We could run the ball on them all the time. I don't know why. But we would line up and just they knew we were running. We knew we were running. We liked to run. And another team was Arizona.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Yep. The old NFC East. Yeah.
Yeah. So we liked to. Now, the teams that I didn't like to go up against was Philadelphia, man. Because when I was playing, they had Reggie White, they had Clyde Simmons, they had Jerome Brown, they had but front seven. That was a team that some teams just don't match up well. And when I was on the Giants did not match up well against Philadelphia Eagles. Their defense was it was.
So that's a good segue. So and I know this is like the I hate saying the word old. I'll say the seasoned NFC East. When you had the Cowboys, Giants, Redskins, Philly, and then Arizona Cardinals. Who would you consider your rival? Like when you saw them on the schedule, you were ready and you wanted that game that you were looking forward to.
Well, the obvious the rival one was Dallas Cowboys. But
okay, thank you.
But it's not a rival when the team that you're playing against whoop your behind every time. It's not a rival. To them, it's a statistic game. To you, it's like, okay, this is all right. We try, but man, then they were so good. There's only been one or two times that I was playing in the game, and we thought we should not be on the same field with these guys.
Right.
They beat us that bad. They were beating us that bad. They were playing with us. Anything we tried, it didn't matter. They were smacking us around. it was ridiculous. At one time, we played them on Thanksgiving, and they, I think they beat us by 30, 35 points or something.
I don't remember that game. Was it Thanksgiving?
Yeah, it was Thanksgiving.
Of course you would know. Of course you would know. I'm speaking out loud, but I do. I want to say in '94. I mean, you were right, because it was during that season or those years where they would win the Super Bowl. What is it? At the 3 out of the 4 years.
Yeah.
But I want to say in '94. We actually competed with the Dallas Cowboys, and it came to the last game of the season.
See, 94, I was with the Raiders.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. That's right.
Yeah. But 92, 93.
Yeah, we had that number. Cowboys had that number those 2 years.
Oh, my gosh. Oh. Ooh. One time we were playing them, and at halftime, the score was at halftime, it was 27, 28 to nothing or something like that. At halftime.
And that is why I hate them. That is why it is what it is. Now I was at the game last week at AT&T Stadium, and of course I had my son with me, and it was a great experience just to kind of watching the game and just kind of being involved in that type of rivalry. I agree with you. For me, it's the Cowboys. I can't stand the Cowboys. Clary knows that. Cowboy Hippie knows that, and I think all of Texas knows that, especially when they follow my social media. And I do want to take a step back, and I'm going to let Clary take over because I know he wants to talk to you about some Michigan stuff. Go ahead, because I could talk to him all night. Go ahead, Clary.
I just want. There's a couple things that if I don't recall this correctly, go ahead and let me know. But I know Bo Schembechler left in '89, right, or '90. And were you there when Gary Moeller came in the first year?
I was there from '86 to '90, so I was there with Bo for 4 years and 1 year with Moeller. But Moeller was there the whole time. Yes.
Yeah, he was there, but so the transition from a legend that you came in with was that a weird transition? Him leaving and Gary Moeller taking over?
No, it wasn't, because Moeller had been there for so long, and he had left the period of time that Moeller left. He went to be a head coach at Illinois,
right?
And when he left there, he came back and was coaching New York, Michigan. And so my freshman year, Moeller was the defensive coordinator. Freshman year, second year, third year, and then he switched from defensive coordinator to offensive coordinator. And then Lloyd Carr went from defensive backs coach to defensive coordinator. And so for 2 years, 1 year before Bo retired, Moeller was the offensive coordinator. And that's when the offense started changing. I mean, before it was 3 downs, a cloud of dust.
And I loved it, sir. And I loved it. Pound the rock, baby.
That was it. That was it. You knew Michigan was running the ball. Yes. And then when Moeller took over, he started passing and started switching it up and giving some more, right? And that's when Bo decided to retire.
Right.
And he retired. But the year before Bo retired, Moeller was running the offense.
Oh, okay.
He called the plays, but he called them with, he was up in the booth and Bo was on the sideline, and it was always, what do you want? What do you want to call? So that was it. But we Michigan was just a running team, man.
Right. I loved it. I loved everything about your teams, especially your years. Those years where you guys, I think you averaged like 5 yards a carry your senior year or something.
Yeah, I averaged 5 yards a carry.
I mean, that's just crazy, man. That's you can't lose many games when you guys are averaging 5 yards a carry, man.
Now in Michigan, I never once lined up as the tailback. I was always a fullback. Unless they went to one back. If they went to one back, my fifth year, I did play the one back. But all those 5 yards of carry, it was because when I got the ball, it was 5 yards. Because I never had my longest run was maybe 39 yards, and that was like, but I was always getting 5 or 10.
Right.
You know, so they used to say, Bunch, you need 3 yards, he gonna get you 5 yards.
Yeah.
Heck yeah, baby.
You need 10 yards, he gonna get you 5 yards.
Man. Now we talked on rivalries in the NFL. Let me ask you this, sir. The Michigan-Ohio State rivalry, is that bigger than anything in the NFL?
I swear to God, I was going to ask that same question. I swear I was going to ask that same one.
Look, I think back then, I think 10 years ago, more than 10 years ago, I think it was.
Right.
When Bo was there and you know, and then like 5-10 years after Bo was there. But it's a legitimate rivalry. I mean, it's the biggest one. It's over 100 years.
Right.
But at some point, it becomes less of a rivalry when one team is winning every year.
Right. Yeah.
It's like.
Don't remind me, man.
Yeah.
We can't beat them, man.
Yeah. Come on, it's like. Yeah. So.
Well, let me back up. So and I want to ask this. I want to sneak right in real quick, Clary. The Ohio coach. Before
he's from Beulah.
No, before not the Ohio coach now, or was it Saban? Was it Saban? Not Saban.
You're
talking about Tressel. You're talking about Urban Meyer. You're talking about Cooper.
Well, yeah, okay, Tressel. Actually, before Tressel got there, the Ohio coach, he could not beat Michigan.
Yeah, it was reversed. He couldn't beat Michigan,
and he got fired.
Cooper.
I'm sorry, what was Cooper? Yes, Cooper.
John Cooper.
Yeah, he could not. I think, but I think he had I think he won one game against.
He won his last game.
Yes.
That was the only time that they should not have even come close to beating us, because they didn't even have a bowl game that year. I don't think they made it to a bowl game.
Yeah,
and in the last game, I was on that team, and they all came out. For the flip of the coin, they all had sweatbands around around the neck with Cooper, and here we are playing them like, oh, here we go, and they beat us, man.
well,
I was 4-1
against
right.
And that was the only game that I lost, and that one was like,
well, and that's what I want to bring up now, because Harbaugh has yet to get his win.
Here's the difference.
But yet everybody, I mean, he's not, from what I could see, he's not going to get fired.
Okay, there's a difference. Go ahead. I'll tell you the
well, I mean, that's what I'm going to say, because he's not going to get fired because of that. And I mean, Harbaugh, from what I see, he's producing a good product on the field. They're competitive, but he just can't get over the hump of beating Ohio.
Right.
Ohio State, excuse me.
It is Ohio. You can just call him Ohio. We're good with that.
Okay.
Here it is. And I have this conversation with people all the time, especially people who are Ohio State fans. Ohio State, when they beat Michigan, they get gold pants and they get all this other stuff. Man, we get nothing, because it's another game that we're supposed to win. Michigan is known for winning the Big Ten championship. Not national championships, Big Ten championship. That was Bo's thing. Beat Ohio State and win the Big Ten championship. So when you look at the recruits that Ohio State is getting compared to the recruits that Michigan is getting, you can't compare them. Ohio State is getting the top 5 every year. Michigan is getting maybe every once in a while they'll be in the top 10 or top 20.
Right.
My year that I came out, I was just blessed. We had the #1 recruiting class in the country. Michigan did in that year, '86. That was where Michigan always was every year. Top 5, top 10. They were always top 10. Something happened. It was when the guy from West Virginia came.
Rich Rodriguez.
They started switching the type of player that they were recruiting.
Yes.
And when they started switching that, all those guys started going to Ohio State. And then those guys that went to Ohio State, they started telling their buddies back home and all that. And Ohio State just was winning. Michigan started losing. What's going to happen? They're going to go with the buddies. They're going to go where the winning is taking place.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
But Michigan did win the national championship in '96.
Yeah.
97.
Sorry, 97. I'm sorry, 97.
That was Lloyd. That was before.
That was Lloyd Carr.
Yeah,
That was
before Rich Rod got there.
Yeah.
And it's not like, it is his fault. I was going it's his fault.
Well, Rich Rod.
I hated Rich Rodriguez, man. I'm glad someone else feels the same way.
So the one thing I'll say that I personally did have against Rich Rod. Now to be fair, I'm more of a professional fan. I did follow Michigan for a little bit, but one thing I'll say that Rich Rod made a comment that I didn't agree with. He basically blew off the Michigan-Ohio State rivalry.
Yep.
And you don't do that. But when Tressel got there, that's the first thing he said when he was on that basketball court.
He put the day. He started putting the days right there. He's there. So it's this many days until we go to that team up north.
Yep. He set the tone right off the bat. And of course, when a coach does that, it changes the mindset of the team. And again, speaking as a Giants fan, anytime it's Cowboy week. I mean, it's when that Monday hits, I think differently. And every day that gets closer and closer to game day, I just get revved up every single day. So for that coach to kind of downplay the Ohio State and Michigan game, I think it set the tone, of how the team's going to play in the future.
That's not the only thing he said. That's not the only thing he said either. He just put himself on a path that if he wasn't successful, it was over. He said that he didn't like the type of players that he was getting and that was there. What?
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh,
yeah,
wow.
Yeah, he said.
Wow.
He was so surprised at the level of players that he was seeing when he got there.
But shouldn't that be a reflection of yourself as a coach? Because if these are the type of recruiters you're getting, or recruitment that you're getting, I mean that's a reflection of the coaching staff. In my view.
What he meant was they were big and slow. That's what he said.
Okay.
They were big and slow, and he wanted athletic. He wanted athletic linemen. He wanted guys that could move and quick. He didn't understand why they were so slow. And I was saying, wait a minute, we had how many Big Ten championships? And then at that time they won a national championship like a couple years ago. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
This Big Ten football is not like what does West Virginia play? They play however they were running that offense and how they were running.
They ran that spread formation over there in West Virginia.
Right. So it wasn't hold on. Here.
We got kids too.
Yeah.
We get it. Yeah, and you know what the funny thing is? I had to talk with my kids. I'm like, look, I got somebody coming out tonight. I wish you would come talk to me during this interview. I wish you would.
Yeah, I had a little talk like that as well. Man, before the show went on, man. Hey, I got one more quick question about Michigan. One more, Sneaky.
Oh, no, go. Take it.
Okay, so I've been Ann Arbor. I've seen, I think, 10 or 11 games there in Michigan Stadium. The tunnel, when you're coming out of that tunnel in front of 110,000 fans, at that age, 18, 19, 20 years old, is that, I mean, the adrenaline and the impact of that alone before you even get to a game, that's got to suck some energy out as well, even just being in that tunnel. Or do you have to learn how to control that adrenaline?
Oh, you got to learn. And
Okay.
You have to learn. And you're right. The first time coming out, the very first time that I came out, it was overwhelming. And that was when I knew I wasn't even going to play. We all dressed, but we knew we weren't going to get in the game. So my that first year, it was something just coming out there and doing the warm-ups and doing the all the drills and all the stuff before the game, and then coming out to run underneath the banner, and then stand on the sideline. Now the second year, my very first play, I got knocked out.
I don't remember.
On the kickoff return team. All excited. Oh, I'm going to hit somebody. I'm going to hit somebody.
Someone got you first.
Somebody hit me. Oh,
wow, man.
The first time I hit him, and I remember I go to hit him. I hit him, and I was like, damn.
Shoot, man.
And when I came to, it was against Notre Dame.
You said when you came to?
What the first thing I thought about is how many people will be looking at me. I got to get off the field. I got to get off the field. They're looking at me. Look at him. He shouldn't be on there. And I got up and stumbled off and fell down. I got up and stumbled around and fell down. And then somebody came over. A couple of trainers came on the field and helped me off. But when I got my wits and knew what was going on, the score was 14-0. That was the very first play. And then when I knew what was going on, it was 14-0.
Oh, man.
And now to tell you the difference, then they put me back in the game.
That's what I was going to say. I said there was no protocol back then.
There was no concussion protocol.
They went like this.
Yeah.
They went like this. Oh, he's good, man. He's good.
Yeah.
Put that dude back in the game, man. We need to win.
And the coaches was mad at me because I was on the side. They were like, what you doing?
Oh, man.
He said, then one of the trainers, they were like, is your mom, anybody show up? I turned around like, I think my mom is, 100,000 people. I turned around like, I think my mom is, I was like, oh my gosh.
Oh, man. Yeah, you got hit pretty hard. You got.
Yeah.
It's funny. I actually had a similar, my first concussion, high school football, kickoff return. I remember pointing at someone like, I'm going to get you. Cut to, I'm on the bench. And one of the guys come to me. It was like, dude, that was a good hit. And I said, huh?
Yeah.
It was, yeah. And back, yeah, right. There was no concussion protocol. And the only thing I could say was I remember my mom and dad's name as mom and dad. That was it. And that was it.
Dude, special teams guys, they're a different breed, man, when they're out there on the field, man.
Yeah, you gotta be.
It's crazy.
You gotta be.
Man, back then too, the helmets were air. You pump air, and they had a web. They had a web that you pump it up, right? And so Bo, he in practice, he said, look, I want all you guys to pump your helmets up really tight so it's tight around you. And it would give you a splitting headache just from how tight it was. So throughout the whole two-a-day, back then, two-a-days and all that, you had full pads, both practices and everything else. It was so tight that you would have a headache all the time. So before the game, I'm like, I'm going to take all my air out. Take all the air out. I took all the air out. So when it put on, it was just like, right? And that's why I got hit. That's how come because the helmet was just like, After that, my helmet was tight all the time. I had it pumped up all the time, just like that.
Now, so when in '91, you played in the Gator Bowl against Ole Miss. I've always it kind of helped me understand like the preparation because well, back then you didn't have the conference championship game. You guys earned it throughout the season. And when the season ended, sometime in early November, right? So you would have a huge layover, and then you'd have the one. It was still considered a postseason game, and also correct me if I'm wrong. Those bowl games didn't even include in your stats, correct? Because that didn't happen until later on.
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't.
It may not have. I don't think. I think you're correct. I think you're correct.
So with the layover and the holidays and what, how was it? Kind of take us through. And I know it's we're in a different time now, especially with social media and whatnot. What was like the preparation like being on that team, getting ready for just one game? The bowl game.
That's a great question because for Michigan it was different. Now you got the old school Bo Schembechler, and the way he loved to do things, right? But that Gator Bowl he was not there, so it was Moeller. But before that, Bo in that time that was like time that we were just constantly hitting in practice. Mm-hmm. It was like training camp all over again, and Bo used to have a full scrimmage before we would go to the bowl game. So that month was like a month of him we just would train, and then for like 3 weeks before the game, he started regular practice, and then that week before we leave, have a full scrimmage, and that was it. Now we got time. We were just my fifth year when we were playing Ole Miss. We didn't have to hit as much, and we didn't have a scrimmage, but we were just practicing so much. And the way they like to practice, they wanted you to practice the way you're going to play. And if you got a month of practicing, man, it was rough.
You were just hungry to play that bowl game.
We told Ole Miss. I told them, I said, man, you guys just on the bad end of.
He said, "Shit, I'm glad playing the game is easier than practice with Bo, man."
Man, because we was, and if you ever see an interview of me after that bowl, I said they was just on the bad end. We was just tired of each other. We were hitting. We were going to take it out on somebody, and they just happened to be the team we were taking out on, and we took it out. It was 35-3.
Yeah.
And you know what they gave the MVP to? They gave the MVP to the entire offensive line because we had like 500 yards of offense.
What'd you do? Throw the ball 12 times that game or what?
Did we throw it 12? I don't know. But Desmond had two touchdowns. I had 3 touchdowns, but
right.
One was called back. Desmond had 2 long touchdowns, and we were running whatever we wanted and pass whatever we wanted, and that was it.
Oh, that's right. That was the year Desmond won the Heisman, wasn't it?
No, he won the next.
Oh, he won the next year. Okay.
That was like a part of his coming out party, man.
Yeah.
Said letting everybody in the nation know this guy is something else.
He was something else.
He was.
He's still doing a phenomenal job at ESPN, man. CDH. Yeah.
He is. And Elvis, they played together in high school. And now
I didn't know that.
They played together in high school, and now Elvis is the head coach of that school.
Speaking of that,
yeah, let's talk about that too.
Yeah, how is so are you the head coach of your high school as well that you played at?
No.
Okay.
I live in Beverly Hills, California.
Oh, but it's the same name, isn't it? Or
Beverly Hills High School in Beverly Hills, California. I'm the head coach there. But I just resigned.
You did resign.
I just resigned. I couldn't do it anymore. I couldn't do it anymore. We had 22 kids total.
22 kids,
including freshmen.
Oh my God!
That was my first year. We had 22, including freshmen, and they hadn't won a game in 2 years before I got there. I got there, we won 2 games. We won 2 games.
Yeah.
Then last year we had 25 kids, 25, and we won 3 games.
There you go.
Right, but we had like 11, 12 seniors. So I've been trying to get these kids to come out. So I started right after the season was over, and I had every Saturday, I opened it up to a whole entire city. If you had a kid who was in high school or junior high or elementary and he wanted to come play football, I opened up Beverly Hills High School football field. You can come out there and learn from, I had about 10 other former NFL players out there to help coach every Saturday.
Wow.
Wow.
You want to know how many of my players at Beverly Hills High School or at any of the Beverly Hills elementary schools or junior high schools showed up for 3 months. So that's 12 Saturdays in a row. 2.
Wow.
2.
Now is this like a predominant community? I mean, how are these kids not wanting to play football for you? I would be in line, man.
Okay, so here's what I feel like went on. They had a good program. They had and the program consisted of also kids from outside of Beverly Hills where they could have permits to come. When they ended those permits, those kids couldn't come, but still the football program was still going. They didn't have these guys that were really athletic, but they still had guys who, you learn, you come, you work out, you do it. They're still getting 60 kids. But they started at some point when they were when they were winning the games, they just started thinking like, what I want to go, why do I want to be a part of that team? They don't win.
Right.
They're and so every year it just kept going down. And then so when I came, I didn't know this. I was just thinking about getting back in coach. I come
right.
And because the year before they had like 40 some kids on the team. I come, start that summer, 9 kids show up for summer conditioning.
Wow.
9.
Wow. Okay, but is this like a size wise? Is it like a I don't even know how California does it, but I'm talking about how many?
2,000.
Wow, man.
9 kids out of 2.
It's down.
Okay.
Down to 2,000 kids in school.
Man.
So, Mr. Bunch, I'll tell you what you should do is ask for your job back. And I'm sure Clary and myself, and even Ish, even Cowboy Hippie, we have at least 1 year of eligibility left.
Hey,
in high school football,
I could be a good lead backer, man. We go to I formation again. We ran
the veer when I was in high school, Buena High School. Shout out. And I was a quarterback. Yes, I was a quarterback, and a number 11 actually. Phil Sims. Shout out. And we'll get you a state. We'll fetch you a championship.
They're good. There could be something there, but the problem was, why did he come on and then go back off? Come on, you ain't gonna sit on Cowboy?
Cowboy Hippie, he wants you back on, baby.
Yeah.
What's going on? No, I'm ready.
You ready?
He's ready. Oh, wait.
Hey, he could be our water boy. Let's not get carried away. Or trainer or something. We got some job for you, Cowboy Hippie.
So before Cowboy Hippie, it looks like he's frozen right now. But Friday, which is perfect. Friday we had a show Friday, and with the show, we're blessed with the show. We're having here in Fort Worth a indoor lacrosse team coming to Fort Worth, and we're going to have the GM on sometime in the near future, and we're going to ask the GM to give Cowboy Hippie a tryout. And his comment was, he says, what did he say, Clary? All I know, he said
speed and something.
No,
speed and
strength. He has nothing but strength and speed. That's and to be fair, nothing about the Cowboy Hippie says strength or speed. Absolutely nothing. But
hey, Mr. Bunch. Hey, with your program though, were you trying to bring back the I formation, or were you going into what everybody else is doing?
Here's the thing. I was like you. I'm from Michigan.
Yes.
And so I wanted to run the ball.
Heck yeah.
I brought in, check this out. I brought in the wishbone.
Let's go!
Oh my God!
Oh, wait. So my assistant head coach and offense coordinator was Mike Sherrard, who played with me for the Giants. We played together on the Giants. And so Mike has been coaching high school football for over 10 years. So he's actually the reason why I even took the job. So he's like, if you do it, I'll come in. I'll come and be your assistant head. I'll run your offense. And he runs that, the same as everybody's running now, pistol and all the other stuff. And I was like, man, let's run the wishbone and all that. And I didn't want to get into, because he's been in doing it. So I just let him do whatever he wanted. He's the offense coordinator, and he let me put in the wishbone for certain situations, but we never used it in the game.
Look, Mr. Bunch, I'm going to go out on a limb here. If you ever get into coaching again and you need an offensive coordinator, I am your guru of the I-4 and the wishbone offense. I am the guru, sir. If you ever need an offensive coordinator again.
If you need a quarterback coach, I know a thing or two. I know a thing or two.
Hey, man,
We'll run that ball, Mr. Bunch.
High football is huge in Texas.
Oh, it is.
Oh, it's
crazy.
Oh, okay. So, Clary, check this out. I'm small town, Arizona, Sierra Vista, and I would go to my old high school, Buena football games every Friday. Loved it, great experience. Moved up to Seattle, same thing, football experience, great. Denver, great. I came here. They got football stadiums for middle schoolers. It was. I walked into the stadium,
$1 billion stadiums.
I walked into a stadium and I see kids. I see kids playing flag football. I'm like, they got stadiums for elementary kids out here. And then you see coaches with headphone sets and doctors for flag football elementary. I'm like, it's huge out here.
My local high school team, Mr. Bunch, is a very bad local program here, but they even have an indoor practice facility, and they're 5A team, but still they're never at the. And Tommy Maddox actually played there. Shout out to Tommy Maddox. He was
wow
there
okay.
at LD Bell High School, but they have an indoor training facility, and they win one game a year.
So what's the name of that school?
LD Bell in Hurst, Texas.
That's high school?
Yes, sir.
Private or public?
It's public.
I know. See, you would be surprised if I ever showed you Beverly Hills High School. You would be like, what is this? Yeah, this is high school.
I'll be like, what's going on here?
Yeah, but the field looks really nice. Small stands, one side, but the locker room, they're redoing. They've been talking about.
Was it a public school or a private school in Beverly Hills?
This is
public.
A public school. No, private schools, man, they're doing they're doing very well. and so that's what I tell people. It's Beverly Hills High School, yes, but the very wealthy, they're not sending their kids to a public school.
Right.
So
That's right.
They're not sending to public school, even though it's it's Beverly Hills. Now, the public school is with a lot of kids who are from very well-off families.
Okay.
Some of them, yes. some of them, but not all.
I mean, look, if I was living in Beverly Hills and Mr. Bunch was leading the program,
you'll be there, right?
My kid would be taken out of private school and
know, right?
straight to
Right?
you immediately.
Right?
That's all I'm saying. I don't. I want my son, to be taught by a Michigan legend, a former NFL legend, New York Giant legend. That's where I want my player. And you had also you had NFL players with you. I mean,
yeah. Who's part of your coaching staff?
Well, then it was Mike Sherrod. I had Mike Sherrod. I had. Here's the thing, man. The first year, nobody because of we didn't know. I didn't know if I was going to have a program. 9 kids over the summer. Wow. It was like up until the first day of the regular camp, we had 30 kids showed up first day. And the kids all tell me, don't worry about Coach. They know they don't have to be. I mean, I said, what do you mean? They know they don't have to be here. Well, they know you won't get rid of them. You need them to be on the team. So I said, all right, first day, 30 kids show up. Second day, 24 kids show up. Third day, 19 show up.
Well, hey, to be fair, were you coaching like Bo or were you coaching?
No.
I know.
Yeah, I couldn't.
So I do want to switch because we are running a little low on time. Like I said in the beginning of the show, Mr. Bunch, I just want to apologize to you. I didn't do anything yet. I'm just saying just in case because I don't want you to come looking for me because you're a bad man. You're a bad man.
You want to see stripes?
Say again?
You want to see stripes on my black belt?
Yes.
Yes, please. I mean, I saw you in
tie or whatever it is they're called.
I saw you in action, and I'm just like, oh my God.
Mickey, can Mr. Bunch take Herschel Walker? Is that what we're talking about?
Hey.
Did we see a Herschel Walker?
You know what? My money would be on Mr. Bunch.
Hey.
I mean,
that might happen.
No way.
Let's go, baby. Way. Breaking news.
That is what I'm talking about. That is a pay-per-view.
They talked about that a long time ago. You know, they talked about that a long time ago.
Right.
Years ago. It was about because it was all the guys who were in martial arts who played professional football. There was talk about doing a TV show, and all of us were going to get together and do this show. I signed a contract to do it. He signed a contract to do it. A lot of people, but it never happened. So, but when I hear him talking,
man.
When I hear him talking now,
let's go, baby. My money's on Mr. Bunch, man. That's all I know. Hey, I saw his arms before the show started, guys. And let me tell you, this man's only gotten stronger. This man's only gotten stronger, baby.
I see the look in your eye.
I'm scared. Hold on.
I know, right? I know. I see the.
See him talking? Do you see him talking?
Yeah. No, I know. Yeah, I know it.
He's doing a lot of talking.
Hold on. Without saying so much, you are saying a lot. And
yeah, we know what you're saying.
We know.
Yeah.
And you know.
Can you do him like? Can you sweep the leg though? Can you do the sweep the leg technique like in Karate Kid, man, and just kind of bruise them up a little bit, little by little? Can you do one of those for us?
I'm not saying nothing. I'm saying nothing. No.
I'm scared, man, and I'm scared.
I know. You know what? If you need a manager on your corner, I know. Well, actually, Clary's a former boxer.
I was in the fight game for about 10 years, Mr. Bunch. I worked corners for about 10 years, from 2000 to about 2010. I was better at watching and working with the fighter than taking the hits. I learned that early on. But I worked corners for about 10 years. Yeah. So if you need a man, and I can talk a little smack too for you too, I can get in their head for you.
What I'll do is I'll grow my hair out and I'll just be Don King. I'll grow my hair and my nails out and I'll be Don King.
Speaking of which, I played George Foreman in Only in America the Don King Story.
That's right. That's right. A
Oh
young
my
George
God,
Foreman.
that's
A young George
right.
Foreman.
Yes.
I played George Foreman. So I've met Don King. I met George Foreman. I met all of them. Mike, Evander, all of them. So.
That's right. We didn't even get into his acting, man.
We didn't even talk
He had
about
like 4,000 films and stuff.
Yeah.
I noticed that. I was like, I didn't know he did all this.
Well, I mean, see, you didn't know this, Mr. Bunch, but this is like part 1 of 7. So you have 6 more
come
shows.
back 6 more shows, sir.
and just so you know, we had Harold Cross on the show last week. And so right now, the compensation for being on our show is a beer.
Yeah.
So whenever we, if we see you in person,
we got some good beer in Texas.
That too. That is true too.
What part of Texas are you guys in?
Dallas-Fort Worth.
Dallas-Fort Worth. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. So if you ever come into town, please give us a hit. We know all the barbecue spots. Mexican joints.
Dude, we got Mexican at my house, Mr. Bunch. You get some home cooking from my house.
And my wife, she can make a hell of a gumbo. So, and again, like I told Mr. Cross, I will ask my wife to make gumbo. I don't tell my wife to do anything.
I got you.
Anything.
Smart man.
So we're gonna go ahead and let you go. I mean, obviously, we could be on for. Man, I mean, this hour just flew by.
I'm gonna tell you something, Mr. Bunch. This is my favorite. I don't want to throw anything shade to Mr. Cross or anybody, but this is my favorite interview I've done since we've done the show, baby.
Next time I see him, I'm saying, Howard, they said you were the best one in the
That was Cowboy Hippie. Just throw him under the bus.
And so before Howard, before we had Cross on, we had Brandon London on before, and that was, and then we told Howard Cross that. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Go ahead, Brandon.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So we told Mr. Cross that he was a better interviewer than Brandon was, and so. But obviously, this is all in love, and
no. But for me, Michigan and everything. This was just an honor. This was an honor speaking with you.
Hey, so Michigan plays this week, right?
They do play, and you know what's crazy about college football now? I don't even know what's going on with scheduling and everything.
Yeah,
right. But I think they play Minnesota.
I think it is Minnesota. Yeah. And like I said, I don't even know. It's so crazy how it just pops up, but I got to get back into it, obviously. But we'll see how it goes. It is what it is. Swing slowly into it. Hopefully, we pound the rock. I always want to see pound the rock, man.
Yeah.
And for this year, I will be rooting for Michigan against Ohio State.
So I'll leave you with this. So we didn't talk about my coaching that much, but that was one of the reasons why I left. I may go back to high school football coaching, whatever, but I was a part of the Bill Walsh Diversity Fellowship with the Los Angeles Rams this year.
Right. I saw that.
I coached with I was with the Rams during this whole pandemic time.
Hey, Mr. Bunch, before we leave, there's a school in Euless called Trinity that pounds the rock. They have a bunch of kids that are the Tongan Nation, and they're huge kids. So if you're ever interested in coming out to Euless, Texas, which is down the street from me, I will throw in a great word because I'm like, I got the man.
I will too.
That can lead us to the state championship. Old school, Wishbone.
Is it private or public?
It's public, sir. It's public.
Hey,
all the good schools here are public, actually.
But are they paying real? They're paying real money, or they
probably not your money.
Yeah, what we talking about?
I do know what some of the big 6A schools make. Just their salary alone, I know what they're making. But they do other stuff.
Coaches or salary for coaches, teachers?
No, they're straight coaching. but they teach like PE or something. I mean, they got to do something. Yeah.
Right. So I don't have my teaching certificate, even though I have my degree and went to graduate school.
Hey, I
I
got
don't
you.
have. Hey,
Hey,
private
hey,
school is good.
Mr.
Private
Bunch, I
school-
got you, man. I got you.
Yeah, I'm sure we can get an exemption.
Bring that I-form to Texas, baby.
Power eye, single eye, single.
Yes,
ball.
you know what? I'm working on it tomorrow, man. I am working on this. I'm working on getting Mr. Bunch in Texas, baby.
Oh man, that'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. I do want. We do have someone, Benny. I want to give Benny a shout out. He's a longtime listener of us. He writes in, Mr. Bunch, can you give me some advice? I love football. I'm a running back, but it's gonna be hella hard because no one from my school has ever made it to the NFL.
He's a high school player.
Perfect question. Jarrod Bunch is from Ashtabula, Ohio. Have you ever heard of Ashtabula, Ohio? No. We have about 20,000 people in there. High school. My high school, when I was in the 8th grade, won their first game in 5 years. They were 0-50. They won their first game in 5 years. When I became a sophomore, that's when I made the varsity team, and we won 4 games that year. My senior year, we won 2 games. Never has anybody from the high school gone and getting a D1 scholarship. I was the first.
Wow.
I was the first to get a D1 scholarship. Then I was the first to be drafted. Now, there was somebody years ago that was drafted in like the 10th or 11th round. He didn't make the team, but he was drafted from Ashtabula. But besides those 2, nothing. What drove me to continue to go was I knew what I wanted to do, and I wasn't going to let anybody tell me I couldn't do it.
I love it.
There you go, Benny.
I love
there
it.
You go, Benny.
That was my motivation. And every time that I was getting tired, I'm going to tell you something else I did. From my freshman year all the way through my freshman year in college, from Sunday through Thursday, I started off doing push-ups in the morning and in the evening. So I started off, it was 20 push-ups before I left the house and 20 push-ups before I went to sleep at night. By the time I was a senior, I did this for 5 straight years. When I was a senior in high school, I was doing 70 straight before I left the house, 70 straight before I went to bed for 5 years. And what was motivating me was I got to do something that nobody else did. And every time I didn't want to feel like doing the push-ups, or if I would got in bed and forgot, I would get up, do the push-ups. So make sure I did those push-ups before I left. As soon as I got out of the bed, I would just roll out and do my push-ups right then and there. I had to do the push-ups before I left the house. I had to do the push-ups before that. If I did that, I felt like I would get a scholarship. You got to pick something.
And you did.
And I did. It was because of the work ethic. And it's not always that you are the most well-known athlete. They look for your grades. They look for your attitude. They look for what type of person you are. Are you the type of kid that they won't have to call you in your dorm room and say, hey, get up, get to class?
Yeah.
If that's the person that you are, you won't get it. They won't even give you a chance. They want to see the people that they don't have to be a babysitter for. Show that. Do that, and you won't even have to worry about it.
Go, Benny.
Okay. I know we're way over time, but I gotta ask this question. I got it because what you said was perfect. Because and Benny says, "Thank you so much, sir." I was lucky to be on a show last week. Cop Pizzle and Authentic, shout out guys. We talked about the DeAndre Baker situation. And I actually, because we were talking about how much blame should be put on Gettleman about drafting a player that later on made an idiot mistake that not only is he now no longer in the NFL, but will possibly have some jail time. when you were going through the process, getting vetted, and I know the process has changed since then. What kind of vetting do you think you went through for them to select you, in the first round? And do you and also, I mean, second question, do you think, the and this is if it's a loaded question, don't answer, no problem. Do you think hypothetically that Gettleman or the front office should share some kind of blame and not doing the full vetting of DeAndre Baker?
So, all right. First is if you are what it started with me with in high school and junior high of doing the push-ups and being responsible. That is why I was able to continue on in college doing the same thing, because it was focused. If you don't focus on one thing, a lot of things will be in your focus. And it will take you away. You have to be able to be on one path and know when you stepped off the path to get right back on the same path. If you don't know it, it creates a problem for you. So that's the way I looked at it. So because I was like that the whole time, the Giants, when they looked at me, there wasn't too much to find. All they did is he trains all the time. I graduated in 4 years. In my 5th year, I played at Michigan as a graduate student. So they're like, okay, so he does his work. He doesn't, would never been some big drinker or smoking drugs. I've never been the drug type. Right. Never was my thing. So all of that was because of my habits that started early on. If you don't have something that you're focused on, it could be a problem. And I had that, so it carries. It's not just something that you do in elementary school. It will carry you through your whole life.
Brilliant.
I think we can end it right there. That's just perfect.
Well, I'm about to go do 70 push-ups. That's all I know. I'm motivated right now, Mr. Bunch. I am about to go do it. My wife's going to be like, what the hell are you doing? I said, Mr. Bunch motivated me. I'm doing 70. I might get 9 in, but I'm shooting for 70.
I tell you what, I'm gonna try and do 1. Okay. I'm setting my standards low. I'll worry about 2 next week.
We got you. Hey, you know what though? That was very motivated, actually, and I really think I am. I'm not lying.
Look, whatever it takes, man.
Yes, sir.
Guy told me that's how I got started. He told me, look, you have the frame. This is when I was in like 8th grade, 7th, 8th grade. It's like you have the frame that you can go somewhere, but you got to put something on there. And this is the exact words that he said to me. You got to work out. And you got to think like the devil is going to get you if you miss a workout.
I love it, man. I love it.
And it worked. It worked.
Yes, sir.
I mean, you got to make every opportunity count.
There you go.
And you got to be the example. I'm sorry. You got to set the example. Don't be the example.
There you go.
And unfortunately, DeAndre, he's going to be the example. I mean, that's the bottom line.
But before we go, Sneaky, I'm gonna have some of we're gonna have to talk about getting him to Texas. So when we get out of this, I really want you here.
You find out what schools are hungry for a coach.
Yes,
I'll look them up on Max Prep.
Yes, sir. I got you. And I'm being absolutely 100%. And Sneaky knows this. Yeah. I have been 100. I know what kind of teams will fit your style as well. I know all of Texas football. And that school will fit your style. Big old linemen.
I mean, how are they playing now? Are they
they're in they've won 2 state titles in the 90s and in 2000s, and they're competitive every year.
If they want to, so there's a lot of coaches fighting for that job.
Yeah, but man, you're Mr. Bunch. Just got me doing 70 push-ups, man. Come on.
I can honestly see the job interview, right? So, Mr. Bunch, what makes you qualified?
My name.
I'm Jarrod Bunch.
Hey, you'll have your hype man behind you. You'll have your hype man
Right,
behind you doing
right,
push-ups.
right,
doing
yeah.
an interview.
Yeah.
You know,
Good.
no, I am
Uh,
really. I'm going to look into it, and Sneaky or myself will get to you and let you know.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I got to say this, this, and I'm going to tell you this whole experience with the podcast, sir. I don't want to tell you this is episode 21 for us, so we're early in the game, in doing this, and the fact that you, took the time out of your Sunday to spend now an hour and 15 minutes with us. I can't thank you enough.
Sure.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Next time be 2 hours.
I'm down.
Hey,
I'm down. I'm
Hey.
down.
Careful. Remember, I told you this is one of 6. Remember.
Yeah. Hey, you know what, Mr. Bunch? I only got daughters, but we're gonna work on the dang I formation tomorrow now too, man. Okay? I want you to know that.
Hey,
We're starting that tomorrow morning, man.
I got 3. I got 2
You guys
girls.
Go do some push-ups.
Yeah, I got two girls and a son. My boy's gonna be the fullback, and I got the 2 in the wishbone. We're gonna practice that in the backyard. No, we're gonna do it in the middle of the street.
Yes,
right
that's
now.
true, man.
Right now, at what time? At 9 o'clock.
Let's go, baby. There's lights on.
Hey, let's
There's
do
lights
it.
on. Let's go. No, Mr. Bunch, this was
Shoot.
an honor. This was a pleasure. This was fun. This was fun.
It went by so fast.
So,
Thank you so much. We'll stay in touch,
yes, sir.
and we'll get you that job interview here in
Yes, sir.
Texas.
If I don't give the high school coach in Texas, maybe I'll go to the Rams
Uh,
or the Chargers or the Chargers.
Okay. We'll be looking for you.
Or some team in the NFL. Hey, wait a minute, Houston.
Hey, if you go to the
Houston.
Rams, don't let Sean McVay spread it out, man. You tell who's in charge when you get there, okay?
You gotta know your role, man. Know your role.
Right? Yeah. I was gonna say if you go to the Rams, we got to see the wishbone at least one play.
Just one,
at
like,
least
like a
just
2-point
one play.
conversion, man. Roll it out on
Put
a
all
2-point
my-
conversion.
Oh my God, that'd be awesome.
Oh, this
Oh yeah, this was fun.
Oh,
This
yeah.
was fun. All right, sir. You have a good night. Thank
Have
you
a blessed
so
night,
much.
sir.
You too. Thanks, man. How do you hang up?
Oh, I got you right here. I
No,
got
we got you. We got
you. Oh man, that just happened. That
was
just
my favorite. That was
happened.
my favorite interview ever. You could tell. You could see me.
Oh
even.
my God. Yeah, this was and we didn't even talk about half the stuff I wanted to talk about. I mean,
I'm going to start tomorrow. I got some insight, dude, at Euless Trinity, bro.
do it. Do it.
Oh my God, bro. To have Mr. Bunch here, man, running the I formation. At
Wouldn't
Euless Trinity.
that would be something. That would be
Are
something.
we still on? Are we still on?
Yeah, we're still on. We're still on.
Okay. Hey guys, we lost Cowboy Hippie. His internet went down. If anybody's still in here, I don't know if we're even.
Yeah, I don't know. We did text him, and so he's trying to work on it. But
Dang, that was great, man.
dude,
That was fun.
Man. When I found out that he was coming on, it was exciting, and we got another one. Actually, I need to send out a message sometime this week.
Right.
We're gonna have another guest, and dude, this is all a blessing, and I'm thankful for this
If
opportunity.
you guys
we
are still
have.
in here, I met Sneaky making fun of me on TikTok, by the way. If you all want to know the truth, that's how I met him. That's how we met each other, was through a joke on TikTok. So
Yeah, August, right? Was it August or?
I don't know, but it was higher than hell, as I remember. But it was hot. But no, man, this has been fun. This journey so far has been fun. It's just beginning. And we got a lot of stuff lined up, guys. Stick with us, stay with us.
Oh,
We're
man.
doing some good things, man. And that was by far being a Michigan guy and a fan, and God, man, that was awesome. That was awesome.
What is it? Jamie's made? Am I saying it wrong?
I'm gonna say James said
James said, not much. Thanks. Thanks
Hey,
for
James.
the compliment. Appreciate that. Ish, you got anything? Or Ish? Oh my God, Ish don't have anything. Clary, you want to go ahead?
Yo, guys, I want to say thank you. to everybody out there for tuning in and listening to this interview this evening. I also want to say something real quick with TikTok. I hit 50,000 followers today, and that's just with the love and support from you guys. And that was something I never thought I would reach or ever get to. And actually, I didn't even know, someone just texted me. So to get to that 50,000 part, guys, I want to say thank you. Much love. Shout out to dresscomfy.com that's carrying our merch, for Sneaky, myself, Cowboy Hippie, and the Truth Podcast. So guys, much love and thank you very much. And you all have a blessed week, man. Make somebody smile.
I'm not at 50,000. Why doesn't anybody like me? No, I'm kidding. Guys, that was exciting. That was fun. And I do want to say, Mike, thanks for watching. He says, came in at the tail end, but it was a lot of fun. Well, thank you. Yeah, it was. This was a blast. I want to say again, thank you, Jarrod Bunch. Oh my God, that was just phenomenal. Happy Sunday, everyone. Another start to a week. Giants win, so it's going to be a good week for us. We got the Eagles on Thursday. Everybody, please be the blessing. Make somebody smile. Make every day count. And last but definitely not least, let's go Giants. Oh! Uh-oh. What just happened? I'm kidding. I did that on purpose. Let's go Giants. Oh!
I'ma keep it 100 here, man. Look, to be honest, y'all ain't even on my fucking level, to be honest.